This is the house of God. And when you want to talk to God, this is a good place to do it.
In around 1910, Father Fortunatus Hauser was the president of the college. He decided that he wanted to build a chapel in honor of the 50th anniversary.
They wanted this chapel to be central and impressive.
Brother Anselm Wolfe, who had just finished building a huge church in South St. Louis called St. Anthony of Padua, built this church as a kind of a small copy of the one in St. Louis. There was a great deal of skill involved in that. And then he built it and died before the building was even finished. I call it Midwestern Gothic, and the style of so many churches at that time, you know, with a steeple and a pointed arch and a long nave and kind of a high ceiling and the altar back in the center of what they call the apse.
Three of the major architectural designs in Catholic churches. Gothic basic construction, and with those great windows that we have. But the dome's arches are Romanesque. Now, Father Tom, in the redesigning of the interior, has put the Byzantines here. So three of the major trends of church buildings are here in this chapel, which is a great treasure.
So there were a number of side altars around the chapel where they would individually go and say Mass.
At that point in history, each priest said a Mass every day.
Now, during the Depression, they didn't heat the chapel, so they built a kind of a glass partition for the back part of the chapel so they could close it off and get some heat in there at least.
That was our space, the friars here. That's where we met each morning and evening and said our prayers here out loud and all that. That was Friars' Chapel back there.
You got in the habit of the priests would all be here in the morning, and I'd come quite often to Mass because I needed all the help I could get in getting through school.
They only had 200 students at that point. And here, you know, this chapel could put the whole student body in with ease.
You know, it's 100 years now, and it's still standing as strong as it ever did.
Unlike most universities, this chapel was built at the main entrance of the main building and not put out on the periphery of the campus somewhere. If you ask them what's most important, oh, it was the chapel, it was the philosophy course, or it was the personal relationships that they had developed here with the professors. That's what's most important to them. This chapel is part of that for them.
And I became attached to the chapel.
And we want it to be that way.